Hi, Dan Sussman here. Today we're going to talk about gerunds and infinitives. I like to think of them as verbs that can do magic tricks, and I'll show you what I mean. First of all, let's talk about gerunds. That G is pronounced like a J, gerund. Gerunds I like to think of as two-headed beasts because they are verbals, forms that are based on verbs, but even though they're verbals, they function in sentences just like nouns do. In other words, they allow us to, and this is a word I've invented, nounify verbs. Nounify. A little grammar magic for you there. So, gerunds are verbs that end with the letters ing. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, wait a minute. What's the difference between a gerund and a participle? Many participles end with ing, like we use in some of the progressive tenses. Let's not confuse them right now, and quite honestly, I'm not going to get into comparing gerunds with participles here. I think it will only serve to confuse you. Right now, I just want to keep the focus on these verbs with ing acting as gerunds, performing as gerunds. So, be becomes being, stay, staying, run, running. It's the gerund form, the ing there. A gerund can serve as the subject of a sentence. Now we know that subjects are always nouns or pronouns. Well, they can also be gerunds because gerunds, as I've said, are verbs that function like nouns. So, teaching is a rewarding career. Teaching is your subject. It's as though we are saying the profession of teaching and treating it as a thing. Swimming was my father's favorite sport. It is the sport of swimming. It functions like it's as though we were talking about swimming as a thing, as a particular sport. So there too, the verb is a gerund, the verb form, and we use it as the subject of the sentence. A gerund can also be the object of a verb. We enjoy traveling abroad. Enjoy is the verb. Traveling is what we enjoy, the gerund form of travel. I dislike eating alone. Same thing. Dislike verb. And the gerund form of eat is eating. Functions just like a noun. And a gerund can also be the object of a preposition. I don't blame you for doing badly. For the preposition, doing the gerund. She complained about sleeping, only an hour. About the preposition, sleeping, the gerund. So, those are gerunds. So what's an infinitive? Infinitives and gerunds are actually kind of similar in that infinitives also are verbals that act differently in a sentence than a verb. So examples of infinitives, to run, to sing, to sleep, to be. We make infinitives by putting the word to in front of the base version of the verb. So, like gerunds, infinitives are verbals, as I say. They can function as nouns, adjectives, or adverbs. Here's an example. To solve the puzzle was a challenge. There, to solve is the subject of the sentence. It functions as a noun. The fastest way to get home is on the highway. To get modifies way, so it functions like an adjective. The hikers were too tired to take another step. To take there modifies the adjective tired. So again, functions as an adverb. So you're probably asking yourself at this point, so what? Why do I have to know infinitives? Why do I have to know gerunds? Because after all, you can use either the same way. Well, not necessarily. We need to know when to use gerunds and when to use infinitives in certain situations. Common verbs followed by gerunds include finish, give up, can't help, imagine, keep, miss, and suggest. So examples, when I finish working, I will leave. We don't say when I finish to work, the infinitive, I will leave. We use a gerund in that case. I suggest asking the teacher if you don't understand. We don't say, I suggest to ask the teacher. We say, I suggest asking the teacher. Now, if you are in one of my Glendale Community College ESL 042 classes, Grammar 4, and you use the textbook, Understanding and Using English Grammar, 4th edition, if you go to page 324, you'll see a much longer list of verbs that typically are followed by gerunds. And as a matter of fact, you'll see some verbs there that can follow either, that can go in paired up, be paired up with, I should say, with infinitives as well as gerunds, depending on the situation. Gerunds after prepositions. Usually, only nouns or gerunds follow prepositions, not infinitives. So he worries about losing his job. We do not say he worries about to lose his job. We say he worries about losing his job. Meditation can prevent you from thinking bad thoughts, not from to think bad thoughts or just from think bad thoughts. No, we use the gerund. We use a noun form. Some verbs can only be followed by gerunds, as I say, some only by infinitives, some can be followed by either, depending on the situation. Here is a short list. Again, you'll find longer lists in the grammar book that I mentioned. Look at pages 324 and 325 if you have them. If not, there are numerous sources online where you can get much more exhaustive lists of this. I caution you, however, don't spend an enormous amount of time trying to learn whether you use gerunds or infinitives in certain situations. This is one of the deals where it's better to be listening and be aware and practice your speaking and listening as a means of getting to know this construction better. Trying to memorize all of the possible situations will just make you crazy. So I hope that's helped explain a little bit about gerunds and infinitives, and I hope that you start using them and using them properly.